Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Karen. Thank you all so much for braving the haze to come here today to make your voices heard and your presence felt. Last month, like many of you, I was very excited to find out that our Prime Minister was going to give a talk about, he's going to talk about climate change in the National Day rally speech. I listened attentively, but went away dismayed when I heard only about how we would be adapting to climate change and almost nothing about what we would actually do to prevent a climate disaster. We heard about how new developments will be built 4 meters above sea level to deal with sea level rise, how another pump house is being planned in the Marina Barrage, and even how we will consider reclaiming a series of islands from Marina East to Changi and building polders. I'm very grateful that our country is taking these measures to protect our land against rising sea levels. But I'm not sure this paints me the future I want for myself and my family. I don't want to live in Fortress Singapore, where the world continues to heat up. People in other parts of the world continue to suffer and die from the effects of a collapsed ecological and climate system. No country exists in a vacuum. It is naive to think our island can survive if the ecological system around us collapses. If we agree that climate change is one of the gravest challenges facing humankind, then we must all rise up to the challenge. We must speak up now and we must act now in whatever ways we can. I have to admit, it is not easy to be here today speaking up. I've always felt a strong bond with nature and cared about what was happening in the world. So speaking about climate change is easy for me. But when I was asked to speak at Speaker's Corner, I was scared. What would people think of me? What if that meant I would be put on a blacklist? Would I be sabuing my family? I even needed a police permit to speak here. Let me tell you, I'm still a bit scared. But I'm still going to speak up. Because what is more scary is a world where floods, forest fires, droughts are out of control, where it is so hot we can barely live, where we have more plastics than fish in the ocean, where we no longer check for rain or sun, but the PSI level before we leave the house every day, where the natural wonders of our world disappear, where our children's futures are bleak. I don't think we have a choice anymore. We have got to speak up and we have got to act now. I know there are many of you in the crowd today who care about climate change and the ecological crisis we're in, but you may not be sure of what to do, or you may be afraid to speak up and ask for things to change because others may judge you, or you may be put on some blacklist. I feel for you. It is scary to stick your neck out. It is scary to speak up and ask for things that will make some people uncomfortable. It is scary to tell the people around you, your school, your workplace, the government, that you want things to change. You want a different, kinder, greener, more just, more sustainable system. But if you want a world that thrives, that is living and not dead, then this is the only way forward. And looking at the crowd here today, I think I am not the only one who agrees. Yesterday, across the world, thousands of people went on the streets to show the world that we need systemic change. This happened because one 16-year-old girl, Greta Thunberg, dared to speak up and act. The more we speak up, the more we act, the easier it gets and the easier it will be for others to do the same. You can be a teacher, a student, a banker, an engineer, or a stay-at-home parent. It doesn't matter. You can do something. If you don't like public attention, you can speak up behind closed doors. You can write to your school, to your senior management, or your MPs. You can also join environmental groups to take action collectively. If you don't know which groups are out there, Seek out any of the organizers of the rally or come ask me. If you're a parent like me, you can educate your children and tell them the truth about climate change, and then ask their schools to educate all children about climate change. We need all kinds of people and people in all walks of life to make systems change and to influence decision makers. Every one of you has a role to play. We are living in the midst of an ecological and climate disaster, the sixth mass extinction. Systems never change without people taking action or asking for change. If not you, who? If not now, when? Thank you.